Welcome back to shed more light on the issue. We start our debate with our dear guest, Dr. Major General Osama Kabir. General Kabir, how does Egypt's geographic location linking Africa, the Mediterranean and the Middle East enhance its value for being a strategic partner for blocs like the European Union and other partnerships that Egypt is actually enjoying?
Right. This is very important, Mark, actually. I would say some would call Egypt such an Afro-Euro-Asian transcontinental country because Egypt, this ultra-strategic location, it has been gifted by God, alhamdulillah. It locates in the center of the world. So we are connected with Asia because we have Sinai, and through the Sinai you can get to Europe too. So this ultra-strategic location actually imposed too many responsibility on Egypt.
Yes.
This by nature.
Indeed.
We have the seas, we have the shores, we have something like 1,000 kilometers of seashore with the Mediterranean Sea. We have around 1,300 kilometers with the Red Sea. We have the Suez Canal. So we are a hub. We are a linkage, transcontinental point within the Middle East, Europe, and Africa, as well as in Asia. So Egypt actually would impose its leverage using this sort of location, strategic location, to benefit whatever benefits can get out, the outmost of that, because now we are with the European Union, as you just mentioned, we are making this sort of bilateral relations and multilateral relations in too many different domains, in political domain, economic domain, security domain, and agriculture, and social domain, education, and even the researches in the field of sciences and the AI and technology. So yes, it's very important. Our strategic location is gifting Egypt actually this sort of merit and specified and special relation with the three continents around.
Indeed. So to what extent our position with the EU is reflecting a shift from just being traditional aid-based relation toward more strategic interest-based cooperation and more strategic partnership?
Right, and if you can see through the generically in the last 10 years, and specifically in the last 3 years, actually, if you can see that, when we talk about the European Union in this time, you can see that now Egypt is to be perceived by the Europeans as a pillar in the Middle East, pillar for investment, pillar for mutual relation, pillar for the Egypt is a first defense line now for the southern part of Europe because of the illegal immigration, as you understand. So this sort of, again, the location and the relation and the diplomacy of Egypt, the political headquarters of Egypt, like is doing this kind of like a shuttle journeys all the way from Europe back to Egypt, like hundreds of times within the last 10 years and specifically last 3 years, just to make sure that we are benefiting out of that. We are trying to get as much as good from our relations with the European Union. If you can see that the last 3 months, a couple of months ago, we received even the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ireland, Miss McKenzie, if I remember the name, and she's also the Secretary of Defense there.
Yes.
This is very important. You know why? Because Ireland now is very important to Egypt, because we can use Ireland as a good bridge that we can pass through to other European countries in Egypt, try to make sure to convince them with the problem happening in Gaza, because as you understand, some of these countries now still supporting Israel against what's happening in Gaza. I mean, this is a great diplomacy we are conducting. We are moving, like, it's not sluggish motion, it's a little bit, yes, quiet paces, but very strong on ground, and I think the momentum of the Egyptian diplomacy is going on very well within this, current time.
Indeed. Sir, how does Egypt actually balance its partnerships with Europe while maintaining strong and having great ties with other global actors such as China and the United States?
Right, and this is very important too, because if you can see, like Egypt, since the old history, we are standing at the same distance from all the international community. We don't intervene. Not to interfere in others' main and interior issues. But if you can see, now Europe now maybe, look at Europe, in the last year, specifically, they have some troubles and problems with the United States of America.
Yes.
They are the first ally to the U.S. But look, about what happened after the American administration had imposed new trade tariffs. Yeah, and now they're talking about Ukraine. We need not support Ukraine any longer because we spent something like $400 billion US dollars. We need those money back. And now Ukraine is something like what they call it the Eastern Gate for Europe. So now Europe now is trying to seek other partners and to make other relations and to boost them, to bolster them. Why? Because they need other main pillars, good, strong countries in the area who are like adequate, I mean, capable enough to lean on. So Egypt comes at the first place. Tell you something, they are knocking out our door. We are not, I mean, yes, they are trying to knock the doors now. If you observe that like from above, from a vertical view, yes, because they would say, we have the experience, we have the heft, which is the heavy weight of the diplomacy and the policy of the country. We have the history, we have the civilization, we have the population, and we are very peaceful, we are very reasonable, and we are trying to make sure that even if we have very good relations with the Russians. We have the first tractor for the Daba, for instance, the Daba nuclear plant. Something like 3 months ago, and with China too. So that all would like pour in one thing. It's the reasonability, the rationality that Egypt diplomacy goes through since the old history.
Yes. Sir, in a rapidly changing global order, how can Egypt position itself as a stabilizing force in the Mediterranean and in Africa?
It is like, it's by nature, it is by, look at the role. Okay, when we look at the African Union, if you remember the COMESA, for instance, is the allies for the eastern and northern countries of Africa. That was something like 20-25 years back ago. And now Egypt is attached or adhesive a little bit in some way or another with the BRICS. And now we have very good relations and strong relations with the United States administration. At the same time, I told you from the beginning that in the last couple of years we have a very robust and strong relations also with most of the European Union countries. So that's what give Egypt the sustainability, the stability, and the feasibility actually to come out with the most beneficial outcomes to itself and to the others. So we're trying to secure our neighbors as well. We are with their permission, of course, trying to solve the problems in the western and the southern strategic depth to Egypt. Look at what's happening to the eastern, northern side in Gaza and Israel. I'm talking about. Without Egypt, nothing would take place. Look at the 13th of October, 2025, that ceasefire agreement held in Sharm el-Sheikh, and we brought everyone here. Everybody would like to shake the political leadership hand, because now we could get to a good point to try to mitigate or to, to ease the things in its flammable area. So generically, it's obvious, it's clarified, it's pure. Egypt, pivotal men, key role play she's conducting is something that no one could give up that role. That's why Europe now is trying to get contacted and connected with Egypt much more and more, specifically after what's happening with the U.S. administration.
Indeed. Sir, how does the strategic partnership framework between Egypt and the EU contribute to the regional peace and migration management, which is a very important file that Egypt did handle in a great way as well?
Right. We are the first line of defense for that illegal migration, and that's why they would donate some financial aids to Egypt, because they understand that we are like exerting much more money on that. We are receiving around something like 10 or 10.5 million migrants from Sudan, from Libya, from Syria. So what's happening here now is that Egypt with the European Union, they understand that we are trying to blockade, to contain this illegal migration, by try to find other jobs, to search what are the main causes for the illegal migrations, by establishing new convictions and mega projects in Egypt. And that's why we call them for the investment. Since you are trying to invest with the exterior countries, now that would build up a good basement for new job careers for the youth. And we are trying to give them the idea that you need not to punish them quickly when you got captured by your authorities there in your country. Try to search for that, send them back. And we are trying now to make their mindsets like much more clear and clear, that they say, hey, you are just gambling your life against the mysterious. Whether you're going to sink in the sea, or whatever happens to you, get captured, is captured by the authorities, whatever the country you're going to get to, this your leg there. I mean, we are trying to deal with this. It's very complicated, very perplexing, and very sophisticated at the same time, and that's why we are trying to deal with that with the European Union leaders, to make sure that we are making things clear, and they understand we are playing a pivotal role against the illegal migration.
Yes. Sir, indeed, we are facing many challenges in the region and on the international front as well. So how do you see the common vision and stances between Egypt and the EU regarding all these very critical and important files?
If we would divide that, I mean, we have like at least 3 axes or axes in that. If you look at the security domain within the Middle East, because the European Union has like too many interests also in the Middle East. If you understand that, France did very much care within what's happening in Lebanon specifically, and Syria. In the United States, they have their spearheads like Israel in the Middle East, and other countries. We have Spain and France within our hand, because I would like to speak about France and Spain specifically the last couple of years, because their role was very impressive and very tremendous and very strong against what's happening, like a human genocide taking place in Gaza. So now, who's the pillar in here? Who's the hub? Who's the point of converge? We need to get to Egypt. Egypt is the one able to contact others together, and Egypt is the one able to have negotiations with the eastern side specifically. And as you can see, the Greece agreement had been signed here 13th of October, was in Sharm el-Sheikh. Was not in France, was not in Washington DC, was not even in Tel Aviv. So this is the first one. First domain is security, and they understand you need to secure their interests here, as well as they have problems with the interior population against you have the demonstrations took place within whole of Europe. And now the social media is like pretty much easily like transmitting all what's happening within the problems around the world. So now they need to calm down things. They say the youth, hey, take it easy. We're trying to reach some good resolutions with the officials in Egypt and other Egypt, also some other countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar. I don't want to neglect those roles with the other brothers and friends. So this is in the security field of security. When you talk like about the economic situation, yes, Egypt is a great environment, safe environment, fertile environment for exterior investments herein. And I think now we are representing all the European Union investment within the Egyptian environment is 38.8 billion euros, which represents almost the third of the exterior investment in Egypt. So this is very good, and we are getting much more larger scale and scale year after year. When you look at the what to be so-called now the green economy and the blue economy and the plantation protection by quarantine, stuff like that, look at they held that Brussels, I think it's Brussels summit in October 2025. It was the only one been invited through the Middle East, Egypt, with the European Union countries, headed by, of course, the High Commissioner Ursula von der Leyen. That would give you the importance and the new shape of the relation in between Egypt and the European Union that entered this new era since the last 3 years, from my perception myself.
Indeed. Sir, you have mentioned a very important file, which is the economic and trade cooperation between Egypt and the EU. How do mega projects such as the Suez Canal corridor development redefine Egypt's role in the global supply chain and increase its partnerships and cooperation with the European Union as well?
If I heard you well, did you speak about Suez Canal?
Indeed.
Yes, I'm sorry for my bad sense of hearing. Yes, thank you very much for that. As you understand, in the 2025, Egypt have lost something like $7 billion due to the problems in Bab el-Mandeb Strait and the attacks conducted by Al-Houthi militia against Israel in supporting what's happening in Gaza, and this big problem taking place around the southern part of the Red Sea.
Indeed.
We lost something like 6.5, maybe approaching $7 billion. That was very harshing, very bad to the Egyptian national income. But however, still the Suez Canal and the new canal we opened and inaugurated in 10 years ago, in 2015, 11 years ago. and that was a great ceremony we conducted here in Egypt. That would help the blue economy to float much more easier way and safer way to the other world, because except for the reasons and the implications and happened due to the Houthi attacks against Israel, and they start to close the strait from down there. But we are our respective systems and yes, our sectors and the security sectors in the country, they understand that they're holding the files of that and trying to yes, to get good resolutions for that. But still, Suez Canal comes at the first place as a main channel route from Asia to Europe and to the United States, also to the whole globe. And yeah, I mean, unless the case of war taking place and the new problem appearing against Israel, I mean against Iran, and the mobilization of the United States military supercarriers. We have 2 supercarriers now with the assets and different 28, 24 something like military assets. Hopefully that we are not affected again, but let's see what will happen in the very, very near future.
Yes, indeed. So what opportunities exist for the European companies in Egypt's smart cities and the transport modernization initiatives?
Very good opportunities actually, like shining in the up ahead in the distance. But as I told you, like too many different domains with the European Union specifically, and I forgot to mention something about the AI and the technology and the researches and the plantation and the investment, like generally selling and buying goods, trade. They would give a good look now to Egypt. To them now Egypt is like a piece of diamond to the European Union. Yeah, I mean, I would say that our diplomacy here, our Ministry of Foreign Affairs and with his respective officials are conducting the job within the last period of time, and they are seeking and keening to get the perfect outmost from their job doing their diplomacy around the globe.
Yes. Can Egypt serve as Europe's gateway to the African market under the continental trade frameworks?
Yes, actually it is. And it will be the hub, I would say, in the very near future. Egypt, like with the new revolution economic plan we are conducting since at least 10 years ago, I think in the very, very near future, and in the near future at least, 3 or up to 5 years, Egypt will be the market, the hub for the economic field of Africa and Europe as well as Asia. The only thing that might hampering that is some of the, not some, it's the war. Whether in Russia and Ukraine, what's happening in Gaza, what's happening in West Bank and Israel. United States of America is trying to solve that. We hear something strange from Israel officials. However, Egypt is a new hub now for the Euro-Afro transcontinental area, and let's pray for God that this war would end like pretty much soon.
Hopefully, of course. Yes. Sir, how is innovation reshaping Egypt-Europe cooperation beyond the traditional economic sectors?
Yes, the innovation, because as I told you like a few minutes ago, it's the, for instance, when we go to the green economy, the blue economy, when we speak about the renewable energy with in mega prices with or mega convictions with the European Union, all this sort of innovation, the AI now we have, the new technology, that would also help to facilitate and to make like the momentum on ground faster through your projects, some major projects with the others around the world, and yeah, it's like very impressive. I mean, when you look at that, this new technology is something a little bit scary. Sometimes a bit scary when you think about that deeply, but yeah, it helps in other fields, specifically in the economy, yes.
Yes, indeed. Major General Osama Kabir, our consultant and Staff Command, College and the strategic expert, thank you so much for being our guest for tonight.
It was my pleasure, thank you.
It was our pleasure, sir. And with that, we come to the end of this edition of the Daily Debate. I'm Mahisi Rabia, many thanks for watching.